I'm Megan Mitchell. This is my co-host, John Morrison, and you are listening to the True North Racing Podcast.
Time to strap in, pull those belts, and get ready for an action-packed episode of the True North Racing Podcast. Are you ready to unmask? Unhelmet your favorite racers? Get ready for the most fun you'll have outside the racetrack to get you ready for the next race. You're listening to John Morrison and Megan Mitchell, and this is the True North Racing Podcast.
Welcome back to a new week of the True North Racing Podcast, brought to you by Vision 20 Studios. I'm your host, John Morrison. Joining me, as always, our amazing co-host, Megan Mitchell. Megan, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you. How was your weekend?
It was good.
Yeah, what'd you get up to?
Went to Flamboro on Saturday.
Yes, you did. We finally got to go back.
Heck yeah. I just hung out with Kate and Dale today a bit, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty good time.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's good to be back at the track again. I feel like everybody's spirits are a bit different, and it's like everyone's just ready to go, so it's nice.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to get back to Flamboro Speedway. I was so excited yesterday. Like I got there at just around 12:30. And I was so excited. I got to talk to a few people, some people from the CVMs. Talked to Ty Cavalin, I talked to Connor Ellis yesterday. Had a nice conversation with him and his folks and learned a little bit more about them as well, which was kind of cool. And it's kind of funny. They said that if I'm sorry for Connor and his parents, but I gotta kind of spill the beans here. They say that Tegan would actually be a better racer than Connor.
Oh, jeez.
She has a lot of raw talent, but she needs to listen a little bit more, and she'd be a better driver than Connor, apparently. So I think we need to see a battle of the siblings in a couple years, get them figure something out, get them around the same area, and see what happens. I think that'd be a good race.
Put them both back in a pure slot.
Exactly. The only issue I had yesterday, I'm going to be honest with you, was how much walking I had to do. Now, to be fair, that's not a fat comment either, guys. That is just one, it was warm. If you guys are seeing me on YouTube right now, like I have a bright ass red nose. I'm going to be honest, I had no clue that I had I look like Rudolph over here. Now I feel like I need to go put some aloe on it before to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was more of a windburn than an actual sunburn yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm happy because like I know that this is my base tan.
Exactly.
I burn, but it tans.
And
I just get darker and darker as the summer goes. So like I'm happy that it's May and I'm already red a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good start.
It is a good start because like I know how dark I get throughout the summer. I'm bragging a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, is because I remember in high school there was some people I used to they were jealous of how they told me, they're like, John, we're so jealous because of the way you tan. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, like the sweat would just like glisten like the right way. I'm like, you know what? I could probably agree with that. But that's just me. But yesterday at Flamboro, I was so happy to be back. There was so much going on. You saw me. There was no stopping me. Like there was
bad to even stop and talk to you a little bit. I'm like, freaking busy.
I know, and I still had to come by your house afterwards anyways. I had to drop off the dresses.
Mm-hmm.
That That's okay though. But there was 4 CVMs on the far side of. They were like coming off a turn 2, and there was like 3 or 4 down on the other side. I felt bad because I put a GoPro on TG's car, Scott's car. I didn't put any on Mike's car yesterday, Quinn's, and I didn't realize they were all parked at the other end. Because when we got there, the go-karters were just wrapping up and they were leaving. So they were kind of misplacing everyone. No one was really where they should have been.
Right.
Which it's going to happen. But for me, I had to walk all the way down to the other end, walk all the way back, put GoPros on another car, get it like there. And this is the problem is I read that there was a 20-minute intermission after each round of practice. And I was banking on that intermission to sit down, offload some of the GoPro footage and put it on the computer. I didn't realize how fast I had to be at moving the GoPros around and slapping them on, putting them places. Like I put 3 of them on a pro challenge yesterday. I don't know how the one footage is even going to look. Because guess where I put the GoPro this time again?
Oh, geez. I don't know.
I put it underneath the rear bumper.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But those bars are tiny. They're like I got a large, like my mounts are for like large. Okay, for large roll bars. This one had like a roll bar like that. I got underneath there and tightened it all the way tight. And like I could probably just flick it off and it would come off. And I'm still moving around, and every time I seen Tenley come around the corner, I'm like, is it still there?
Oh jeez.
Oh yeah. But it was great to see everyone on track. Like I know you asked, it was kind of funny because at one point every single car that was on track in the mini stock division had a JoMo Media sticker on their car, or was gonna have a JoMo Media sticker on the car. Caitlin Wallace, Dale Millard, Michael Kenny, and Mike Thompson all had their cars out, and I just thought it was the funniest damn thing ever. Seeing like, because you come up, it's like, is the 98 a JoMo Media car? I'm like, no. They're like, you almost had a full practice with of just JoMo Media cars. I'm like, yeah. Really, I could say the same thing about the CVMs. Everyone but 2 of them have JoMo Media stickers.
Yeah.
It was cool to see Alex Stewart and Cam Thompson with their throwback rides, which, by the way, they look amazing. Caitlin's car looks really good. Jay's still the same from last year, so it still looks good. I love the flat black look. That's my thing. Like I love, my favorite color is red, but you give me a car with flat black and it's just Dale's car, I love how simple it is. And I like how there's like that green outline in the 8. It actually looks really sharp. TJ brought his 15 car out. It's still the same car. Scott Sidelli brought out his revamped 14 as he finally got the motor down on the car. It is now an 8-cylinder instead of inline 6 on that thing. Man, if you guys want to go see the pictures, go check out JoMo Media on Facebook and Instagram, because I put up some of the pictures already. Oh, I laughed. I had to laugh actually at this one.
What?
Ricky Williger. Did his paint scheme remind you of anyone? Or any particular track? Or
I don't know.
a big driver in Canada who still races? Because I laughed because I said, I'm like, you just put a big giant GSR sticker on it and you think it's part of its fleet.
Paid attention. Huh.
Okay, I'm gonna send you his. I'm gonna send you a picture of his car right now, and you tell me if you don't slap a giant GSR sticker on that. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I truly believe. I'm trying to see if I can find an on-track picture so I didn't pull the colors away from it. Actually, there it is. There's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Slap a giant GSR sticker on the side of that and call it a day.
I like that. That's good. Yeah, it definitely would.
Yeah. So
maybe he should ask for a new sponsorship.
Yeah, Glenn Stiers, if you're listening, like, I highly doubt it, but Ricky Willigers is a great spokesman for your brand. I can tell you that much. Over on the asphalt side, he's a hell of a racer. He's going to get victory lane. He's going to go to victory lane multiple times this year. It's going to be tough competition this year, that's for certain. Like, there's so much that's been done to certain cars. Like Scott Tonelli was running, I almost want to say lap for lap of what Mike Pod was running in that one car. Like I haven't checked actually any of the I haven't checked any of the speeds yet. I really should have. It's vintage modifieds here. Let's see. Yeah, Ricky was at a 16.5. Let's turn it this way. TJ ran a 16.4. Ricky ran a 16.5. Jay ran a 17.2 in that one. I want to see later on here. Let's see. TJ, Ricky, Mike, Quentin. Let's see, 16.7 to 16.3. So he's picking up pace, that is for sure. But it felt like the track was slow.
I'd heard a lot of people say that it was kind of greasy and it was slow.
Because Dale and I were talking about that yesterday. I was like, you guys don't look fast at all. Like, I don't know what they're supposed to look like, but everyone yesterday just looked off the pace. Right?
Yeah.
And again, you don't want to win practice. What are you winning in practice? Right? And nothing. It was great. But yeah, it just got me so much more hyped for opening night, which unfortunately I will not be at Flamboro's opening night as they open up May 13th. I will be at the track May 20th covering the Canadian Vintage Modifieds, and we'll be doing a vlog with Scott Tonelli. He's going to be our first vlog of 2023, so that's going to be fun. It's going to look a little more different than it had last year with the CVMs. It's going to look, this is actually coming from the JoMo Media stable for this one. But I may be going to Sunset next weekend for the Pinty's race. Waiting on a couple words, but I may be going to the Sunset race this weekend. So we'll see. That'll be my first trip to Sunset this year. But let's move over to Sunset real quick. Sunset got their opening night in. We're going to talk to one of the competitors in just a little bit here with Nick and Sera, and they're good friends of ours. We've gotten to know them a little bit over the last year here. You and Sera have your own connection. It's been great getting to know Nick and Sera though, personally. They're gonna have some words. Don't listen to them about how much of a genius I am. I'm not a genius. But it was great having them on. It's such a great conversation with them. I want to get us more hype for the season. I really do. I'm trying to think of more things, but I'm drawing a blank right now. Maybe I'll bring them up afterwards. But what do you think? What do you say we get Nick and Sera now?
Yeah.
All right. Let's welcome in Nick and Sera of TNT Racing. But before we do that, we're going to have a quick word from our presenting sponsor, Vision 20 Editing.
You're diving into Vision 20 Editing. new company with their services providing video editing to get your video perfect and exactly the way you guys are looking for. They also do audio mastering, where they're going to take your audio and make it crisp and clear. They're bringing your vision to life. That is right. At Vision 20 Editing, we want to make sure that your vision comes to life in the way you want it. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at Vision 20 Studios. Now let's get back to the True North Racing Podcast.
Joining us this week on the True North Racing Podcast, we were sitting down with Nick, Tooley, and Sera Giannone of TNT Racing. Guys, welcome to the show.
For having us.
Okay, before we even continue, please tell me if I'm saying your name correctly, Sera, because every time I say it, I feel like I'm being disrespectful because I don't know if I'm saying it correctly or not.
It's normal, don't worry. It's Giannone.
Giannone. There we go. Now I'm not going to sound like an idiot next time I say it. Someone over here saying like Gianni kind of thing, and I was like, that's not it. I know it's not it.
He says though.
Giannone. Correct?
Giannone.
Giannone. Okay. I'll figure it out. We'll get it going.
There, it's okay.
Well, how's your off season going? But last night you guys were at Sunset Speedway competing. How did the night go for you guys?
Well, practice was really well. We unloaded with a really nice piece, and minimal changes were needed. We made our changes, and we came out like a rocket sled on rails in our first heat. Started, I believe, 6th place in the first heat. Finished second, right on the back door of Corey McAllister. Second heat didn't go so well. I lost my power steering, so I was fighting the car. I didn't have the reaction times that I wanted, and I started 3rd and I finished 5th, so I'll take it with an ill-handling car. And then feature time, ultimately, I did not finish due to an electrical issue.
Oh man, that's always rough on the first night. Like we were at practice yesterday, and we saw some guys have stuff like that happen. But the car is still in one piece. It's easily fixable, right?
We're thinking that we have it fixed right now.
Okay.
We have spark now, which is it's a plus, and then we just have to look into our power steering issue. But other than that, yeah, the car is in one piece, and we should be good to go for spring velocity in 2 weeks.
That's awesome news, because like it's frustrating when you've worked all winter on the car and you take it out and you got it. You think you're perfect about to go out there and stuff happens, but I'm sure you guys are going to have it all fixed up. And because like last year, you guys were like a bat out of hell, in my opinion. You guys were you guys were both competitive, and I can't wait to see how it looks out for you guys this year.
Well, it's definitely going to be a good season, and like I said, we should be in good shape come spring velocity. We're hoping we got most of our gremlins out now. At least if we don't, hopefully it's just some minor issues that won't affect the outcome of a night. But yeah, we're going to see what we can do and go from there.
So we're going to start off with Nick. Nick, how did you first get involved in racing?
So my old man, he used to race. He started in, I don't want to say the wrong year, but we'll say early to mid 80s. And he won a championship at Sunset in 87 and 89. And then 1991, I believe it was, he ran 1 or 2 nights. He blew his motor and then didn't go back. He had a family and money was tight, obviously, for everybody involved. And then he got back in 2006 in the limited late model division at Sunset. And then in the meantime, my grandfather had a Mustang that Tammy Milligan drove at Barrie Speedway. And I pulled it up one day and I said, I want to drive it. So we ended up finding a 1995 Ford Escort wagon, 5-speed, and I just started driving it around the backyard. And next thing I know, we're building the Mustang, and my first time out in the car, I'm in a race. So ultimately my dad is the reason why I got into it, but my curiosity also kind of got the best of me.
That's usually how it ends up, right?
Absolutely.
I feel like that's pretty a standard answer for everybody. We're all like born into it. Well, Sarah, what about you? Like, I feel like I know a little bit about how you got into it.
The track with Dan Archibald and his crew. Over that summer, I met Nick, and literally, they were thinking about it. I mentioned I had an interest in racing, and one day there's a car in the driveway, and it was like, you're going racing. So we started building the car, figuring it out. It was an old Sunset car that sat for 11 years, and we worked on rebuilding it, and it kind of just stuck after that.
So is that same, like, is that the same car that you have now? Like, I know there's like a name for them and everything.
Yeah, it's the same car this year. We're hopefully going to be starting a new build, but for now, I'm just going to take the old car out, get more seat time, you know, do what I can, and then hopefully come out.
Nice. What is that car that you have?
92 Eagle Summit, from what we know. Nick's able to say more about it because he's done the build, so he will explain the car.
It's a 1992 Eagle Summit. The roof was shortened a little bit. The rules were kind of open when it was built. The motor is out of a 1993 Mitsubishi Expo, and then the rest of the parts just make up a Frankenstein build that nobody. It was fun.
We've got a minimum of 4 cars that we've figured out.
Oh,
That's just crazy.
yeah.
But it's been a delight.
That's what you want to call it.
And what about, I know last year was the first time that I met you guys in person at, I guess it was kind of the car show.
Yeah.
Yep.
How'd you guys like that? The whole car show and all that.
It was fun being able to actually like meet the people behind the cars. You know, we all follow the other tracks pages, and you see people winning, you're like silently cheering them on. Like, I remember when you got your feature win, running over to Nick and being like, 2 girls gotta win. If they can do it, I can do it. And you know, like, it's just so wild to finally meet the people that do those things, right? So I was like fangirling on the inside because like I watched you and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool.
So that's the thing. I'm going to be honest. Sorry, Megan. It was actually really cool getting a chance to meet you guys last summer because, you know, I don't tend to drive up to Sunset or nothing like that. And you guys reached out to me last year, and, you know, it's kind of cool how you guys, first of all, jumped on with JoMo Media, and then now, you know, you guys were more than welcome to come out to the car show. And it was really nice getting a chance to meet you guys, talk to you guys. And like, I'm excited to go up to Sunset this year because I'm going pit side.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. I'm going pit side. I'm hanging out with y'all.
Yeah.
Because I'm figuring out a date of when I gotta look at the schedules again to see when essentially the 3 of you guys are all racing in the same night.
That won't happen, sadly.
What?
It won't happen.
It won't happen. What are you talking about? I think the schedule's not lined up that way.
No, I'm running all of Nick's off nights just due to like crew. We don't have enough manpower to do 2 cars.
Okay.
And with him going for a championship be in the way, so I'm just running the off nights to get the seat time.
Well, that changes how I need to come up. That is for sure. Because like I want to bring the GoPros and I want to capture some footage and some behind the scenes stuff of your team and of course of Morgan Robson Racing. I want to grab as much content as I can from both of you guys. If I have to make 2 trips, I'm making 2 damn trips now. Because
there's never a dull moment when you have Nick there. And, you know, Madison's usually running the same nights Nick are, so you don't have to worry about that. And they're both pretty good with the action-packed stuff.
Oh, yeah. There's never a dull moment at Sunset in general.
See, that's the thing is I haven't been on the pit side at Sunset yet for an entire event. I've been up there for a couple of grandstands events, but like no pit side. So like I feel like I need to experience that now. Like the one time I was supposed to be in the pits for Sunset was actually a practice day. In like 2012, ooh, maybe like 09 or something like that. I can't remember the year. But the guy I was crewing for, we were other side of Orangeville on Highway 9 heading towards 400. Got a phone call. Yeah, you can turn around and go home. We junked the car. I'm like, oh boy.
Oh no.
So my stepdad, who was the crew chief, and I just like pulled off of the next roadway, turned around and head home.
Ooh.
And that killed our season there. Like, so the one time I was supposed to be there for the pits, it didn't work out.
Well, that's the way it goes sometimes.
Absolutely. Sorry, mate, I did cut you off earlier. You had something you wanted to say, so I'm gonna let you continue.
I was just gonna say, I remember one of the videos that Sera had posted after, I think it was your first night out. It was like an in-car footage, and I just vividly remember being in Boston Pizza crying. And my boyfriend's like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "Look here, I'm so happy."
That's
It was
the thing with so
awesome.
many things over the internet, and it's like you don't realize it. And then when you meet the person, you're like, "Oh my god, I actually get to see you and tell you how."
Yeah. Oh, I was so happy to meet you guys.
As we continue here, Nick, you said it yourself that you kind of got the itch there and you joined racing and now you're running the super stock division. Where did you finish in points last year at Sunset Speedway?
Last year, overall, I'm pretty sure we were fourth place in points at the end.
See, that's pretty respectable. Top 5 in points at the end of the year. That's awesome.
So last year was my first year back since 2018.
Yep.
It was a new build for us, new motor. The whole car was pretty well brand new. And like I said, my last full season was 2018. The starting of last year didn't go the way that we had hoped. It took a little bit longer for me to get used to the car, work out some kinks, some bugs. For the most part, we were about 6th in points, and a couple guys blew their motors, a couple guys didn't show up one night, and at that point, you have to capitalize. And if you don't, you're still going to be where you are. And we jumped on it, and it bumped us up to 4th, and we held on to it.
See, that's awesome. So I remember Sera and I were talking about it at the beginning of the last year because she was hyping you up a lot last year, not gonna lie. When she's like, listen, would you be interested in promoting us? Like I'm myself a rookie, Nick's been out of the car for a few years. I'm like, hell yeah, like and I'm so thankful, like you said, I'm always thankful when people jump on like that. And to me, like after seeing some of the results I saw, like I was looking, I was like, this guy really has been out of the car since that long. Like I don't believe that one bit.
2018 was my last full season. We were actually supposed to be running Flamboro on, I think it was the Canada Day long weekend in 2020 during the COVID year. We paid our $250, got our crew members all ready. We get down there and we had to change the clutch. Well, then the transmission wouldn't go back in, and it got to the point where racing was starting. We said, we're down here, transmission won't go in. We're done fighting with it. We pushed it into the trailer, and we still made the most of it. My dad hasn't been to Flamboro in many, many moons. So we said, you know what, we're still going to enjoy it, and we got to watch some good racing, and it was really good racing. I believe Lane Zardo was there, and obviously anytime he's behind the wheel, he puts on one heck of a show, no matter where he goes. But no, it was still worth it, and then we got out at Sunset. I think it was a month or a month and a half later, and that was the last time I was in a car until last season.
See, again, like I said, I would never guess that.
Well, that's part of the reason why it took about 4 or 5 nights last year to knock the rust off. and kind of get back into the swing of it.
Yeah.
But it's ultimately, it's just like riding a bicycle. Once you're into it, you can never really leave it, as you know. But especially once you've driven a car, it's a feeling that not a lot of people get to experience. And I actually do, I do feel bad, not in a bad way, but at the same time, even around the racetrack, if it's one of your passions, you know what, it's never going to leave you. It's always going to be there, and it's just like riding a bicycle every time.
Absolutely agree with that.
I'd say. And Sera, I think another one of the like first times that we kind of connected was through Lift the Visor.
Yes.
You want to talk a little about like Lift the Visor and what it means to you?
Yeah, I remember when I first like started coming around the racing community, it was huge. I saw the stickers on everybody's car. I knew a bunch of people who were with Lift the Visor, and I was like, that is awesome. I was like, I've never really been in a space where mental health was just so openly accepted. And it was so nice to see everybody talking about their struggles and it being normalized. And I was like, I could really back this. Like, I've always been one who has always spoken about my mental health and never hid what was going on, because I was like, at the end of the day, this is me, love it or hate it. It's me. It's a part of me. And, you know, people used to look at me funny and be like, oh, why is she talking about it? So seeing that there's a platform where people were really just being like, this is normal, this is what we struggle with, I was like, oh my God. And Lift the Visor has just been, I think, a huge reason of why I really wanted to get into racing. And then being like a woman in racing on top of that, it was just like I couldn't pass it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's always good. That's always good things to hear is you know, when you can find something that really you're again, it's something passionate about, right? We were just talking about that. When you find a something that you're passionate about, something that you're interested in, it shows through. And you know, when I saw the article that came out with Lift the Visor last year, you know, that you had done with Jory Elliott, it's, you know, right there, I was like, that's someone else I can back as well, because they're like, that's one of the reasons why I love having Megan. This is not gonna, this is gonna sound really bad. This is one of the reasons why I love having Megan on the show, is because she can help me with those conversations as well.
Exactly.
Because as much as I can sit here and be like, hey, this, you know, this is me, you know, I do care about this stuff, I'm always not the best person to talk to about that stuff, because the way I understand things is always different.
Yeah.
So for Megan especially, it's great to have her on board, because I know Megan can, when we have these conversations, Megan can really help interpret these conversations for me. And it's a quote unquote dumb them down for me, because I'm not as okay. I just want to pop this off real quick. A couple weeks ago, I was shooting a video for J Pep and one of the drivers for us. We were doing a shop tour, and he goes, "Man, you're such a tech guy." I'm like, no. I know how to push a button. I know how to push buttons. That's it. Dude, I'm not a tech person. Do not ask me like the websites I deal with, they're through Wix. They are websites for dummies. Like, sorry, I just wanted to put that out there real quick. That's I just wanted to make you guys understand. It's like, I do stuff that is so simple, and somehow I make it work. So sorry, that's all I just wanted to say right there.
It's half the battle, though.
Sorry.
Just making anything work is half the battle most times.
You're absolutely correct. You know, sometimes it's we can look at things as really, really tough or really, really easy, and sometimes it's just that starting factor.
100%.
Right? Hell, when I started JoMo Media and Promotions, I was like, we're doing a podcast. That was in June. The first episode did not drop till November. So, to be fair, I went through like 2 mics. I went through like a bunch of setup changes. Between June and November. Sorry, Sera?
It was a learning curve.
Big learning curve. I'm sitting here, like, what program do I use? How do I edit? Like, I got a Mac because everything was already on here. And it was all, again, user-friendly, dummy-proof. Oh, I can do this. And just... But we're jumping off the rails here. Sera, this year you were running just a select few races. Let's talk about that. Like, so actually, before that, let's talk about your rookie year, because last year you did get behind the wheel of the car a couple of nights. First of all, how was that feeling for you to get behind the wheel of a race car and get on track?
It was scary. I think leading up to it, I thought of every possible thing that could go wrong. And on the back chute, all those things were kind of just playing through my head. And I was like, oh, we're going to be great. You know, no issues. Cool as a cucumber. My first night out, my first heat, I got trampled. Blew a tire, still finished the heat, not knowing anything was wrong with the car. Pulled in, and the first thing, he thought I was going to come out of the car and be like, I'm done, that's it. No way, because a little backstory, I was in a bad car accident. I hate cars, I don't like driving in them, but I chose racing.
Oh.
So he was like expecting me to be like, nope, I'm done, I'm out. And I got out and I was like, that was awesome, I need to do it again. So we got my new tire on and I finished my second heat, and we were getting ready for the feature, and we kept hearing some rumors, and I was spoken to by the track. They were a little concerned about like my speed and where I was running and whatever. So at that point, my anxiety kind of got the best of me. I was like, oh, I'm in everybody's way. I'm just gonna sit out this one. So I sat out my first night. The second night, I completed a full night. I finished 13th in the feature because some guys broke down, but it still counts to me. It's 13th place.
Hey, it still counts.
A lot of people kind of expected me to pull in for my first feature, and I didn't even know how many laps I was supposed to be running. So I was just kind of going, and just, you know, if I didn't die, I didn't die. So I kept going, and then all of a sudden the checkered flag was going, and that's the video that Megan saw where I was like screaming, going off. The whole family could just hear me like screaming at my car. I was like crying because I was like, oh my God, I survived. Nothing happened. I made it in one piece, and I was hooked. And then that night I kept saying something's wrong with the car. Every time I let off the pedal, the car would shake, it would shoot me around. So Nick ended up looking at it and the axle blew. And because we didn't really know what car it came from, everything, it put me out for the season. It took us 7 months to finally figure out what axle, but we got there and we got a new set of tires, got everything ready, and we still got to get the last final touches together, but we should be good for June 10th. And yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Then your upcoming season, I guess this season, how do you feel about that going into it?
I'm nervous again. You know, I kind of feel like I'm starting over, being out for so long and only having like the 2 nights really. So we're hopefully going to get me into a practice before I come out and just kind of get me back into the field of things. And then I'm just going to give it my best shot, go have fun, and just do what I can. I'm nervous. I've been rethinking it a lot. I'm like, do I want to do this again? Like, do I really want to go over this? But
A lot of pros and cons.
I tell myself no, and then I go right back into it. Like, I told myself I wasn't going to run this season, just sit it out, and I couldn't. I kept going back to, well, what if we just tried this? What if we just did this? And I was like, I can't just drop it. Like,
Oh, for sure. I feel like we're in the same boat. So then,
you know,
do you,
taking some time off. So
yeah, it's nerve-wracking, but
yeah,
you'll do it, and you'll do good.
really.
Then, Do you know like how many races you're going to be running and which event you're looking forward to?
I'm doing 4 nights.
We're aiming for 4.
We're aiming for 4 nights, depending on how the car does. If I make it the 4 nights, I'm looking forward to September 3rd. The mini stocks are doing a 40 lapper, which I feel like will be a great learning experience for me. So, yeah.
Hope I can get up there and watch both of you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Exciting.
As long as your car at the end of the 40 laps doesn't look like Megan's at the end of her 40 laps. Sorry,
So,
Megan, I just had to throw you there.
I don't suggest starting on the pole as a rookie who's never ran in the pack before. It's not pretty.
We've already discussed all that.
Yeah, I'm stay out of the way.
Just hang out back, avoid the wrecks. You'll be good to you can walk out of there with a top 10 finish.
I run my own race, you know. Everybody else is doing their thing, bumping and grinding, and I'm just running my own race.
You got to have your own goals. And actually, speaking of goals, Nick, what are some of your goals for 2023?
Well, ultimately, we would like to go for the championship. After opening night, and I know it's just one night, I don't know if we're going to be in the right position to be able to shoot for the championship right now. The rest of the season, anything can happen. Anything can happen to anybody. But we want to learn even more this year on top of last year. Go out. We want to try and have fun. I haven't actually gotten a feature win or a heat win since I've been racing. I think I only have one heat win at Velocity in 2017, but that's not really a regular season, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try and go for wins and see what we can do. But yeah, like I said, ultimately I would like to go for the championship, and I definitely feel like we have a car to compete. I mean, we showed some really good speed yet last night. And we definitely have some guys looking over at our pit, seeing what we're doing, and yeah, hopefully everything can go well for us for the rest of the season and see where we stack up.
That's the one thing you always got to remember is you can't lose a championship, or so you can't win a championship on the first time, but you can certainly lose it. And I feel with just a little bit of a mechanical, like you still finish what, 7th or 8th or so.
I think I got 8th.
I'm bringing up Race Monitor as we speak.
I know. Yesterday, I'm sitting in the stands at Flamboro and I'm watching the track, but then I would see the post on Facebook, so I'd go on Race Monitor and I'm trying to look for it to like watch.
Actually, that's something I want to ask about, is because I know they talked about it on Sunset Speedway's Facebook page today about having them earlier starts.
Yeah.
I like them for different reasons, but I also like the 5-6 o'clock events. What did you guys think of that 3 p.m. start?
I loved it. I liked that it was like the weather was perfect. It was a little warm, but I loved being able to get home at a decent time, and you're not like scrambling around at 11 o'clock trying to unpack the car and do all of that stuff. So it was kind of nice. It was more laid back. You were behind the scenes more so how did you feel about the
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to me. We still have to unload the car. We still have to unpack the trailer. So whether we do it at 7 p.m. or 11 p.m., either way, it has to get done. Me personally, I do like the 3 o'clock start times. I have heard some people say, oh, well, it gives us less time to do this, less time to do that. Well, Saturdays are race days, and a lot of guys travel an hour, hour and a half. Some people up to 2 hours just to come and race with us.
Oh yeah.
So they're leaving racing in the morning anyway, so they're really not doing a whole lot. But again, it doesn't really bother me. The only thing that I like is if you're racing during the day for the heats, you're in the sun all day, or if it's a later start time, you're in the heats and then everything cools down, and then it's just a better show under the lights in my opinion, for the fans. But at the same time, if it's a later start day, then it tends to be a little bit of a longer day. So looking from the fans' point of view, I myself would like the 3 o'clock start, but as a racer, it doesn't really affect me one way or the other.
It's still, you still gotta load up, you still gotta get there, you still gotta unload afterwards. And Saturday's a race day, like you said, you load up in the morning, you do your final touch-ups, you get it loaded, head to the track. Maybe stop off at your favorite gas station or your favorite eating spot. Like, again, for the guys who are traveling 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right?
They still have
They still got to eat.
Fuel. They still have to do everything. So it doesn't matter whether it's 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock. They're still out the door first thing in the morning just to be able to make it for when the gates open for practice. So
I'm a fan of it for when you're having a bigger show.
yes,
Like you're right. Like sometimes, like from a how do I put it? From a video aspect for myself, because of the videos I cover for the CVMs, I don't mind it when we're done when the sun's still up, because the videos I can make them turn around and face the sun, and I get better quality videos. Whereas 11 o'clock at night, the quality looks really grainy, even though like it's not like it's a top end GoPro and it still looks like it's grainy. Right? So that's where I'm a fan. Like I like to, like, again, bigger events, make it an earlier day, because it's still a long day regardless. Right? As a member of the crew, driver, team, whatever, it's still a long day. The only nice part is you still get to go to bed before the only difference is you get to go to bed before midnight instead of 1 o'clock in the morning. But
Yeah.
wow. Depending on what happens during racing that night, sometimes you're up until 3-4 a.m. regardless.
yeah, absolutely.
I haven't done. I've heard stories.
Hey, I used to crew and for a late model. I lived in Erin. If you don't know where that's just 20 minutes southeast of Orangeville. And we were racing in Delaware on Friday nights.
Oh wow.
Okay, so I would get picked up from school at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I would already leave my house before 7:30 in the morning. I would be picked up at 2 o'clock with usually the truck and trailer. I would meet them out at the road, pray to God it's a red light so I could just hop in, and then we would head off. I wouldn't get home until 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That the drive alone was long. But yeah, you're right. Like 3 o'clock in the morning, man. Like that was just getting back. Now I wasn't offloading the race car. That wasn't nothing. So
everything was closer to 4.
well, when we lived in a trailer, we didn't have a shop. Our shop wasn't there, so we'd bring the car all the way past the shop to our house, leave it there. Then when Monday or Tuesday or whatever, it would go back down to the shop, and then probably come back to our house on Thursday nights, and then leave that day. Yeah, like I said, it made for long nights, but hey, memorable nights at the same time. I want to jump into our fan question period. As you guys saw earlier today, we announced that you guys are coming on the show this week, and we got ourselves a fan question. You guys ready to answer them?
Yeah.
All right, Megan, take it away.
Alrighty.
I know it's your usual type of question, but I'm sorry.
I know. I was gonna say reading. I'm like, I was gonna ask that. Alrighty. William_Chilliam said, "Where did you both get your car numbers from?"
I knew I wanted my number to mean something to me because I'm like a huge belief in like safety and stuff. And my grandmother meant a lot to me, and she passed away, and her birthday was the 4th of May. And we were starting May 6th last season, so I took that as my sign, and I was like, I need to be 04. I was like, it's going to keep me safe. And after I made that decision, I put her rosary in my car, and it was just like 04 stuck, and that was it.
And then for me, so I actually started out as 82. I couldn't get 28, and 28 was my dad's number. I couldn't get 28 at the time, so I said, you know what, whatever, I'll flip it around. So it's 82. Up until last year, I was 82, and then I made the switch to 28. And yeah, I wanted to try and keep my dad's, I guess you can call it a legacy. Don't let him hear that, but I wanted to kind of keep it going for his sake, and I wanted to be the third generation of the family to run it, and yeah, here we are. It's stuck.
It's a huge part of why he's gone completely retro this year. The whole car is his dad's paint scheme from his championship year.
Yep, from his 87 and 89 championship years. The red front with the white back with the gold wheels, everything to a T. The only difference is the red stripe across the bottom of the car. That is the only thing that is different from his paint scheme. Other than that, everything is the exact same to a T.
Okay. I was gonna ask about that too. I'm like, I know I've said it like a million times. I'm like, I freaking love that car. It looks so nice.
And that's the other thing. It's a wrap now, and this is actually my first wrap since being in racing. Every other car has been painted, whether it was me paint it myself or if one of my body guys painted it. I've never been a fan of wraps. The only good thing about a wrap is with greasy, dirty paws. I mean, it wipes off. Paint, it doesn't really. It's not as forgiving, but to me, a freshly painted car definitely looks a lot nicer. A wrap is a lot easier. It's a quick patch here and there, and then you're done. But yeah, it's a new wrap, and it was a new car last year. We figured, you know what, let's go out with a bang this year, and we're gonna go completely retro. I've gone kind of retro-ish in the past, and it didn't really work in my favor. So we figured with the new car, new year, new wrap, might as well go red and white and go all retro and see what we can do.
That's awesome. I like that. To be fair, especially when like your paint scheme also complements the JoMo Media colors as well.
I knew
that's the one thing I love about your car is the fact that both your cars match the color scheme that we got going on pretty well.
Hey Luke, it's the JoMo car.
Do I need to send you guys some stickers, or did I give you guys stickers already?
You just haven't stuck them on the car yet. Yeah, he gave them to us at the show.
I couldn't remember if I did or not. I meant to ask you guys.
Oh.
Okay, good. Whew.
I must not have paid attention then.
Actually, that's what I wanted to. So actually, that ends their fan question period. We want to thank William for taking the time to ask us a question there. Stay tuned every Sunday to make sure you guys see who our next guest will be. And get ready to drop your questions. And of course, we want to thank Nick and Sera for answering the question. But I wanted to ask you guys about that. What'd you guys? I know, again, it's the off season, whatever. What'd you guys think of Motorama? And it was, first of all, it was really good to see you guys. It was great getting a chance to talk to you guys for a few minutes. But my question actually is, another question I have is, did you guys get to see Jory Elliott?
I didn't see him. No.
He was walking around at one point. Did I see you guys Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday, I think we went down.
When did I see Jory? Oh, maybe it was Sunday.
I thought he told me he was going Saturday, but I don't know because I didn't go. So
Saturday or Sunday?
I think we went Saturday.
Now I'm gonna have to go take a look at that. But what did you guys think of the show?
It was my first time ever going. It was cool. It was definitely like nice to see all the cars, and the turnout of race cars like blew my mind. And being able to see like all the different kinds, it was just a really cool experience.
For me, I've been to Motorama once or twice in the past. Obviously, I've been around racing for quite a while. The race cars always catch my eye. It doesn't matter what division or what car, what paint color it is. They always catch my eye, but I like the fact that now they're incorporating a lot more like American muscle or modern American muscle. That is the kind of stuff that's catching my eye right now at that show. It was a really, really well put together show, and I think it was definitely worth it.
I can't say enough about the inside track guys who put on the show, because it is top to bottom, a well put throughout show. I definitely love hanging out in the Racers Corral. I love how they're expanding more in there. Like, hell, they're inviting podcasters like myself up on stage to do a live show for an hour. I never thought there would be any interest in have anyone listening to me for an hour. Right? And they're just like, hey, do you want to do a show for an hour? It's like, well, I mean, I didn't get a chance to this year. It's just timing didn't work out. Content I was trying to, like, I still got content I'm trying to put together from it.
Wow.
Like, I have a freaking time lapse of the entire show I'm still trying to put together.
Gosh.
So there's lots of footage. I just need to get done. But yeah, like it's such a well put together show. I love going, like, I miss when it was Performance World because we were back in the Hall 2 because I was in the or not I was, but the driver I recruited for again, he was in the show and we were in the back corner of Hall 2, like where the pizza and stuff is, like back by that bathroom section over there. And it just, to me, it was much more open and more accessibility, like compared to where we are in 1B. But I love the show from top to bottom, front to back. Like, I think you guys went over and saw Taylor at my friends from Taylor to You. You know what? Okay, so you want to know how stupid I am? Okay, so here, check this out, okay? You guys won yourself, I think, a t-shirt and a tumbler from our contest, right? Okay, here's how stupid I am. First of all, I need you guys to send me an address afterwards so I can send you guys a shirt. But Taylor was there. She had tumblers. Why the hell did I didn't tell her to give you one? I was going to pay her for it. Because I forgot to bring the one that was meant for you guys. And I'm just like, I after you guys had left, I'm like, why did Taylor's there? She had JoMo Media Promotions freaking tumblers. Why didn't I think about it? So yeah, I felt like a complete idiot when I realized that you guys didn't get the tumbler or the t-shirt yet. So send me your address. I'm sending you a t-shirt tonight. I'm going to order the t-shirt tonight, send it to you guys, and I'm going to mail the tumbler off to you guys tomorrow. It is going in the mail tomorrow. I'm going to find a box, put it in the damn box, and mail it off. Because I am...
It was a busy weekend for you. You didn't look like you stopped.
He left it on the table.
No, Freddie.
I planned on using that cup to hydrate, and I couldn't.
Well, now I need to go see Taylor, and I'll get two of them, and I'll send them off to you guys.
Oh, good.
But yeah, like, man, I realized, like, once, like, I left it at home, and Jacqueline was gonna bring it. Like, she's like, "Oh, do you still need this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." I was like, but I messaged you guys. I think you guys had already left. And I'm like, "Well, I don't need it now. They've already gone." So I'm like, and then Jacqueline's like, "Why didn't you tell them to go see Taylor and then tell Taylor that they need to give a cup?" I'm like, "Oh, right." Brain fart. Like I said, you guys were. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off for most of the weekend, and yeah. I didn't get half the content I wanted to get done. I need to take all 3 days off and just go. I don't know. We're trying to talk to have like a podcaster booth next year. So like anyone who's a podcaster can go to a booth and have, instead of us walking around trying to create content, you guys come to us. So we want to do our own shows, record our own shows. We can set up our own stuff and record them in the booth instead of just doing a live show up on the stage or something like that. We can do a small little something. Or if you guys want to buy stickers, come by the booth and get stickers.
Yeah.
So I don't know yet. I don't know if we're gonna. Sorry.
It gives you guys a chance to promote yourselves too.
I know, instead of walking around with our own hats and merch on, and It's crazy the amount of conversation. Like even yesterday at Flamboro for practice, I think I had more conversations than I did creating than I made content. I have dead GoPros right now just because like at one point like I think I swear to God I walked 4 kilometers yesterday with how much I walked up and down that backstretch. Megan, you saw it. You just see me walk past, go the other way, come back the other way, cut like there was no stopping.
Like, oh, there he goes. Ah, here he comes. See you later, John.
I didn't sit. The only time I sat down yesterday was all for 5 minutes, and that was just to call Jacqueline at 6 o'clock at night. So from the time I got there till like 6 o'clock, I didn't stop.
It happens.
Oh yeah. We don't want to take too much of your time of you guys' night tonight. So I want to give you guys the next couple of minutes. Thank anyone you want, from your dog when you were from 2 years old that you have like 2-minute memories of, to your ancestors from 4 generations ago. For you guys have the floor. Thank anyone you want. Thank your sponsors. Yeah, the floor is yours for the next couple of minutes.
I'd like to thank my sponsors, obviously, Copeland Property Maintenance and Harmony Connections, who is a new sponsor who's on board. Just to touch base a little bit on that, is they are an equine program for children with disability, and it's supposed to help with like therapy. And it's a friend of ours, and she's awesome, and I'm excited to have her on board for the season. I'd like to thank Steve's Custom Graphics, who is also a sponsor for my decals, and just thanks to anybody who like pays attention to our pages and supports us along the way.
And then, yeah, for me, first and foremost, my dad, Rod. Without him, I wouldn't be in the position that I am today. I have to thank my mom. She has put up with a lot since 2009, both good and bad. Obviously, Sera, she puts up with it as well. And yeah, at the track, my temper can get the best of me, but she doesn't get too mad with me until later on. She'll straighten me out after the races. In regards to my sponsors, Northern Elite Contracting, they came on board with me last year, and it stuck, and we worked out a deal that worked for both of us, and he's back on board this year, so hopefully we can put on a good show for him. Ryan's Landscaping, Shepherd Custom Docks, Gord Shepherd, it's actually a Gord Shepherd built car. Great work, great guy. Auto Trim of Barry, the guys up there, they're second to none in regards to wrapping. They love race cars just as much as we do, and they take pride in their work. It doesn't matter whether it's a race car, a boat, a truck. It doesn't matter. You give them something to wrap, they'll wrap it, and they put their heart and soul into it. Steve's Custom Graphics, Harmony Connections as well. Suitors Auto Service, again, they came on board for another year with us, and I think that's it. If I am forgetting anybody, I do apologize. And then thank you to everybody who helps me week in, week out work on the car, and again, anybody who supports our racing page.
That's awesome. It's great to see you guys, like, you know, it's great, like it's great to hear like you guys highlight your sponsors and like really talk, like I don't know, sponsors drive our sport obviously, but like it's great when you guys have a great group of people around you to support you guys as well. Oh, before we let you guys go, I got this is True North Racing Podcast hat is off, JoMo Media hat is on now. So question, what do you guys think about JoMo Media?
I love it. Like, you'll send me like different things that you've done, and I'm like, this guy's a genius. This looks awesome. And I'm always like, Nick,
Hold up. No, never, no. You do not put me and the word genius in the same sentence. Because I am nowhere near a damn genius.
But you do some pretty impressive work. Like, you do a great job at promoting and like just making like the shots, the pages look awesome. Like the one picture you did with like the JoMo Media logo and like the border and everything, I was like, that's so cool. Like,
You know what?
Everything.
No, go ahead, Nick.
I was just gonna say everything that you do, you work hard on it, and it definitely shows, and everything looks great. And yeah, I couldn't be happier with it.
Whew, that's what I want to hear. But you guys want to know something? Is like all the like the driver cards now I have for like the driver's pit, like when you guys click the driver's tab, I got a great little tool I've been using. It's graphic designing for dummies. It's called Canva. I find something I like and I tweak every little thing about it.
Listen,
That's
you're not
how.
supposed to keep secrets.
You know what? I like sharing my secrets because I don't mind helping out as well.
Yeah.
Like I've said so many times, our new podcast, both podcast intros we have are all done from two different people from Fiverr. So if you guys are looking for like there's a bunch of great stuff there, moderately priced.
Yeah.
And I can't complain. They're all freelance artists and stuff like that. Like and it's not just like I just give them ideas and they're just like they run with it.
Wow.
I was wondering how you got all those because like the new intro is catchy.
You know what? You want to know something? If you actually go to Fiverr and I can show you the link, I'll find you the video and I'll send it over to you of the guy that I used, and you can understand why I used him. Because the sound clips he uses, the way he uses the words, like our intro's good, but I'm gonna use him again, but I'm gonna get him to write the script.
Oh,
I'm gonna pay the extra money next time, and he's gonna write my script.
Right.
Because I'm not a script writer. Though yesterday I had a simple saying, and some guys still were miswording how I wanted to put. So I swear to God, you drivers, you guys can drive, but you guys can't interview worth a crap. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I got 3 drivers right here, and I just so this is the thing is on the video, I told them like this is what I want you to say. I want you to say your name, the car number, your name, the car number, 2 or 3 sponsors, the model of the car you drive, and the division and where you race. So for myself, if I owned a Ford Mustang mini stock, this is how I would. Hi, I'm Jon Morrison. I drive the number 32 JoMo Media True North Racing Podcast Ford Mustang in the mini stock division at Flamboro Speedway. There's guys going, I'm Cam Thompson. I drive the pure stock at Flamboro Speedway. It's like, oh boy.
oh man.
But it's like dyslexia a little bit. I'm gonna be honest.
Listen, you're asking us to push a pedal and go fast. You can't give us more information. They recite. You should know this by now.
That's why I want to give like have like giant like I want to go get Bristol board. Walk around with a rolled up Bristol board. And I'll get the
board. It might be easier.
I'll get the GoPro to put on my hat, and then I'll open up the thing. Hi, my name is blank. I drive the blank.
No, like for me, you gotta fill in the blanks, or I'm gonna give you a whole different video at that rate.
Hi, I'm
like,
blank, and I drive blank. Oh my God. So you're we're gonna get you guys out of here. Nick, when is your next race? Is Velocity on May 20th, correct?
Yes, it's Spring Velocity, but we race on the Sunday. The regular divisions run on the Sunday, I do believe.
Okay. And then Sera, you're running the 10th of June. All right. Where can they find you guys on social media?
At TNT Racing 1, I believe, on Facebook. And on Instagram, it is TNT Racing.
Awesome. Well, if you guys want to make sure you guys stay tuned to them, get over onto Facebook and Instagram. Head over to jomemedia.ca as well, because the links are right in their bios. for Sera and Nick. You guys, I think you guys can go straight to their social media accounts from those pages as well. Nick and Sera, we want to thank you guys for joining us this week on the True North Racing Podcast. It's definitely been a blast. I can't wait to see you guys when I make a trip up to Sunset this year. Like I said, I'm going to make sure I hit up so hopefully all three of you guys, I can see you guys. That doesn't matter if you guys are racing or not. I just want to be able to see all three of you guys and just have a good time.
Sounds good. It was
Looking
a pleasure
forward
being on
to
the
it.
show.
Thank you for having us.
No problem anytime. You guys have yourself a good night, all right?
You as
Yeah.
well.
All right, bye now, guys. And we're back from our conversation with Nick and Sera. Of course, we want to thank them for joining us this week on the True North Racing Podcast. And what did you think of that interview?
I liked it. I was excited for that one. I really enjoy talking to both of them. So it's good.
I still say to this day, it's hysterical. It's one of those things like, up at Sunset in 2021, we had Morgan Robson Racing with Madison Teen Camp, and they were the lone driver at Sunset. And it was funny how last year in, I think it was February and March, they reached out to me and were like, "Hey, we'd love to join the JoMo Media brand." It's like, all right, bet. Like, I was needless to say, I'm always shocked when someone new reaches out and asks about us.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm taking off the podcast hat and we're going to put on JoMo Media hat for a second. It's always funny when people reach out to us and we're like, "Hey, how do we get involved with JoMo Media?" Well, there's multiple different ways, right? It's first of all, we got 3 different packages. You guys can find out which one you want. We can also build a custom package. If there's stuff you guys want but don't want other stuff, we can work around it. But it's so cool being able for these drivers to reach out and be like, "Hey, we heard about you through these guys," or, "We saw you." Like, never would I have thought in my entire life someone asked Jacqueline how she knows JoMo Media.
Really?
Because the person who asked her goes to Sunset Speedway and saw JoMo Media on the cars at Sunset. Never would I have thought.
Mm-hmm.
She got stopped in a grocery store and got asked about it.
Really?
Right? So like, it's kind of cool how that's happening. Is when people, find, "Hey, like, I know you." It's like, "Yeah, where do you know me from?" I always feel bad when like I don't recognize the person right away. They're like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hey,
Hi.
how do I know you again?
What's your name?
What's your name again?" It's like me. Like, again, we gotta get Johnny Morrison on here,
Mm-hmm.
and I gotta get Feeney on here to ask Feeney if Johnny Morrison and myself look alike or something, because he mistaken me for him at Motorama last year.
Oh, geez.
And it's weird that's how our friendship started. All because he thought I was a racer. But yeah, I want to get Johnny Morrison on here. And I gotta get Feeney on here for that conversation, because Feeney's never gonna I'm not gonna let him live that one down. He's stuck with that one for life. Yeah, it was great. Like I said, it's great getting to know Nick and Sera. I'm gonna make it up there this year. I want to get a GoPro in their car. Yeah, like, I've seen that video of that you guys were referencing during the interview, throughout the conversation, of Sera being all pumped up after finishing her first race, and it gets you, man. Like, if you're going out there and you're not sure of where you're going out just to have fun,
Mhm.
I'm sure you were probably the same way. You completed your first race and you were like, "Yes, I did it."
That's exactly it. Like, and I've told people that start your goals small, and then every accomplishment after that, including your small goals, it's gonna feel huge. And to just finish a race, especially when you deal with mental health, like, It's incredible. Like, it's like you just won the championship.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was happier the first night that I finished a race than I was when I won a feature. Like, they were both exciting, but like that very first night is like, wow. It's a dream coming true.
Yeah, it's always so cool to see like how how people progress as well. I feel like this year, we're gonna see a different side of Sera, and she's gonna keep her goals small. But like you said, she's looking forward to that September 3rd race, and she is going to, there's nothing stopping her, which is awesome, from possibly walking away with a top 10 finish.
Exactly.
Right? How cool would it be? Like I said, I'm always excited to see how people run and stuff like that, because it's such a big part of everything, right? We want to see how people progress. Like, it's so cool. Like, when people are at the top of the board, we know who we're going to be at the top of the board. Someone like a Kyle Stackley or Jordan House or a Colton Everingham, especially, in the Superstock a couple years ago, Lane Zardo, you're going to see them at the top of the board. But I'm not saying they have the budget for that, but if you got someone like Sera coming out, it's great to see someone like her come out, have fun, do what she's like. The fact that she's got her whole car signed by people from at Meet the Drivers Night, that's so cool. I love that. I love that idea so much. Like, you can give away whatever you want, but if that little kid sees your race car after they signed it, they go, "My name's on that race car." Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I remember when Dale Jr. did that. I think it was Michigan or something like that. You had to enter your name, and you were going to be put either on the car or on the pit banner. That car was actually fully covered with names, and my name was actually on the pit banner.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's again, how cool is that? That my name was on a freaking technically on a NASCAR Cup team. Right?
It's a good way to intrigue people, create more fans, and
that's what we try to do. We strive to create those fans. We strive to create those relationships, right? As drivers, as fans, we want to see more involvement. Like, again, Sunset's killing it. They got freaking Ribfest.
Yeah.
Right? You got Ribfest at the track. Are you kidding me? I want to go. I need to find out when that date is. I want to go. I want to go to Ribfest. And then I want to go sit down and watch racing while I have a nice thing of ribs.
Exactly.
Like, for me, that's heaven. No. Let's go to Merrittville and let me go get a brisket sandwich. And then go watch racing. Then I'm in heaven. Or the wood oven pizza. Either or, I'm happy. You give me smoked meat and you give me freaking pizza. I'm a simple guy. Actually, before this is actually a funny. I gotta tell this story because I think it's pretty funny. So a couple weeks ago, Jacqueline and I were talking, and one of her coworkers was saying how, how she needed brakes for her car. She's like, "Oh, the mechanic's gonna charge me like $800 to do brakes." And I was like, "Well, shit, I would do it for pizza."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Well," because she was like, "Oh, oh yeah, my, because this is after the car accident." She's like, "Oh yeah, John put the car back together. It's semi there, like it's all right." She's like, "Oh my god, you can't even tell like you've been in an accident besides the different color front bumper." I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Oh my god, like I need, whenever my brakes go out again, like I can't afford to pay $800. And I was like, "Oh, let me see how much John would charge." And she called me up. She's like, John, how much would you charge to do brakes on someone's car? I'm like, a large pizza and like 10 wings and a pound of wings. She goes, no, seriously. I'm like, a large pizza, 3 toppings, and a pound of wings. Like, I am a simple man. You feed me, I will do what you ask. Within reason, obviously, but like,
Yeah.
I'm a simple man. You want me to do car work? You buy me pizza and wings when I'm done. I will not accept cash.
Yeah.
Why? Because that cash can go towards the pizza.
Exactly.
That's what I always laugh at that though. Like, then Jacqueline realized, she's like, well, I mean, you did cut lawn for pizza. I'm like, yeah, I did. And I shoveled the driveway for pizza. Because to be fair, the lady I was cutting her grass for and shoveling her driveway owned one of the local pizza joints in Erin. So I would wake up at like 4 a.m. before work, drive over there if I knew it was a heavy snowfall, drive over there, clear out the snow, and then I would go at lunch, and then she would write me a gift certificate, and then I would have lunch for free.
Nice.
So I usually got like $25 for a gift certificate each time. So again, there was either lunch covered or a dinner for the night covered.
That's pretty good. I can do that.
Exactly. Grass cutting every week. I was out there cutting grass. Now, this was before we started all this stuff, and now I can't do any of that. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2018, 2019, I think. I was doing that stuff, and yeah, I tell everyone, you want me to do something, pay me in pizza. That's all you got to do. Simple guy. You feed me, I will do the work. Don't ask me to shingle a roof. Then we're talking cash. But like pads and rotors on a car and I can do the oil change. I can do. Oil change. You just buy me a large pizza, 1 topping. Give me a hot and ready for all I care. But you want pads and rotors? You get 3 toppings and a pound of wings, and we're good. That's the deal.
I feel like that's a good deal.
You're paying $30 you're paying $40 for pizza and wings, and all you got to do is supply your parts.
Yeah.
You just got to supply the parts. I will do the work. That is it. As simple as that. Sorry, I just felt like the conversation led right into that. But no, I think I think that's gonna do it for us this week. We've covered quite a bit. Next week, the NASCAR Pinty Series opens up their season. Flamboro opens up for the season. There's Merrittville opening. Merrittville opened up this past weekend as well, which is great to see. Yeah, next week on the show. Holy crap, we're gonna have a packed house next week. We are gonna have to start earlier, I think. I'm thinking a 6:30 start with these guys.
Yeah.
It is the boys from Thorn Racing. So we are gonna have Wade, Cam, Alex. We are gonna have a wide group. I think Jeremy Barton's also gonna join us. I don't know. Now I gotta talk to Wade this week to see who's all coming out. And oh man, this is gonna be. Yeah, I think let's make it a 7:00 start next time.
Yeah.
We'll talk to the guys this week and get everything all sorted out. But that's who our guest should be next week on the show. Megan, where can they find you on social media so that we can keep up to date with everything going on with MRC Racing, with Megan Mitchell? And
I believe Facebook is just MRC Racing. TikTok it's just MRC Racing 73. And Instagram is mrc.racing.73.
And I feel like there's something else I need to ask you. I can't remember what it was now. But anyways, I can't remember. Well, if I remember it, I'll ask you later. I think that's
Sure.
gonna do it for us this week, though. What do you say?
Yeah.
Let's get the heck out of here. So thank you guys, everyone, for listening to the True North Racing Podcast. Stay up to date with everything going on with us at JoMo Media by following us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and obviously our own very own website, jomomedia.ca. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to this podcast. If you guys like it, share it. If you like it, subscribe, do it. Help us out here, guys. We love everyone's interaction with our channel, with us on social media. It's all great. I love it. I love seeing everyone's comments about it. Thank you for everyone who answers our fan question period every week. Other than that, guys, that's going to do it for Megan, Mitchell, and myself this week. We want to thank everyone again for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Bye now.
Yes.
The car zooming by, ayy, True North Racing, let's go.